hypothesis was written by this guy called John Smart, and basically transcension, he says, is what comes after the singularity. Like, imagine that. Like, the singularity is already a great metaphor for a black hole-like transformation where all the laws as we know them no longer apply. Once you make a smarter than human intelligence, all our models break down, because that smarter than human intelligence will have just entire new reference points from which to transform and evolve. But then, so then this transcension thing is...
How many people look forward to that? How many people think it might be a big problem?
Yeah, I guess that's a good split. Good dialogue. Yeah, no, so transcension, so he says, okay, so what happens after that? Like, what's it? And he says that, you know, right now, if you look at the history that we're kind of going out, or expansionist explorations, like, you know, we'll go to the moon and maybe we'll go to some other planets and we'll go out, and we make bigger, bigger, bigger. But he says that there is an equal amount of complexity to be found by going inwards, you know, so whether it's going down to the atoms, to the nanoscale, to the femtoscale. And he says, you know, these increasingly powerful computers, at first, you know, yeah, we made these big desktops, but then we started going back to this smartphone size, you know, and then they get smaller and more powerful, smaller and more powerful, smaller and more powerful. He says eventually we'll probably have femtocomputers, computers that are creating computation at the femtoscale. Maybe at that point the level of complexity will be so tiny, and we'll have non-biological minds, you know, that are existing at the femtoscale in virtual-like environments, and at that point space-time collapses into a black hole-like environment. We zap in through it, and we meet every other advanced civilization at the end of time. That's the transcension hypothesis. It sounds crazy, but maybe those could be McKenna's green elves, right? Like, I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean, for me, like that sounds very much like the high-dose DMT kind of experience.
Right.
You're going into something, and it seems like there's these kind of nested levels of these other dimensions that are incredibly sophisticated and complex, and strangely like hyper-technological, hyper-organic, you know. So, you know,
but then that could be the place where the psychedelic and the technological kind of merge.
Right, well, that's this concept that I was telling you about, the neurosingularity, which is sort of interesting. What if we used our, you know, everything that we've learned about the brain and the psyche and the mind to, you know, augment our, you know, psychic capacities and so on. We should take some questions.
Yes.
Yeah. Alan Steinfeld.